Coach, this is it. The first week of the season, Granite City Friday night. Talk about the anticipation to get ready for this opening game.
Well, it's the game you prepare the longest for. My goodness, we start talking about the first game of next week all the way back to, the end of last season, and now through the spring and the spring workouts we have and the lifting and the summertime stuff. We keep talking about August 28th, that first game. And so no game has more preparation time and anticipation than week one, and it's finally here. And so for everybody, it's an exciting week for us, and it's game week, and we can finally stop hitting just each other. We can finally play the game against another school.
How much more meaningful is this game because of what happened last year? Got down 26-0 in the first half. You managed to battle back. Final was 33-20, but the game was a lot of things. It snapped a long home winning streak. It started your season off with a loss.
Yeah.
So, how much more important does it make this game this time?
Well, for every team, and playing this game, the first game's always important. It can set the tone. It's going to teach you more about your football team than probably any other game. If you want to know where your weaknesses are, you'll find out week one, because somewhere on that field you're going to find maybe something you haven't anticipated, a weakness you didn't know about, or something you haven't stressed enough in practice. But you hope that your preparations have been true. You hope that the time you've spent as a staff has been worthwhile, because week ones are always a bit of a mystery. You go into it, you think you know what they're going to do, but that school may have made some changes, and we don't have any game film to watch these guys on, and they don't have any of us, so it's a matter of just going on what they did last year and trying to look at that roster and hoping that you've got a good game plan.
That being said, what do you know about Granite City?
Well, they bring back a very good quarterback. He's a big kid. He's a runner. He's a thrower. I think he's the focal point of their offense. He's a really good athlete. He plays big. He breaks a lot of tackles. He's got the speed to outrun you. He's a shotgun running quarterback, and we're going to have to deal with him first and foremost.
What do you do, especially in a situation like this where you don't have film to break down a study? What do you do differently in this opening week to prepare?
Well, I think the thing that we've learned, I think the thing that I've learned in my years as a coach is you really have to focus on your own execution. Because week one can come down to more which team makes the fewest mistakes and which team has the better game plan. I think week one, of course, being the first game, there's going to be mistakes on both sides. And looking back at last year's film, we were the team that made the most mistakes last year, and that's why we lost the game. We had too many turnovers, too many penalties. We made too many mistakes, too many alignment mistakes on defense, and we have to eliminate those things and have a lot fewer mistakes if we're going to win on Friday.
Talk about your team, and how close do you think they are to being ready for this game, physically and mentally?
Well, I think you can practice another month if you wanted to, but you need to play a game to get ready for the season. You've got to go out, because there's a tempo and a game speed that you cannot simulate in practice, and you have to play a game to get a feel for that. Certain kids are going to play better or play worse under those lights, and you're never going to know it until the game time comes. Some kids handle pressure a little better than others, so I think it's just time to play. We've had we're given 25 summer days. We're given a camp at the end of July that goes along with that. We've had our two-a-days. It's time for us to find out what we're made of and where we're at, and get out and play a ball game.
Terranius Stanley playing quarterback Friday night for the first two games in place of Dalton Robertson. Dalton's back for game 3. You've indicated during the preseason you don't necessarily see that changing the game plan that much.
I don't think it's going to change the game plan very much. I think they're similar type quarterbacks. I think they're both good athletes, and we haven't had to change a lot. There are a few things that I think when Dalton comes back that we will do more of, but not a drastic change at all. I think what we do as a football team, Terranius is able to do, and so I think we're going to be able to kind of keep our signature on the game a little bit with Terranius in there.
A lot of other familiar names, Zach Irwin, Torrance Stanley on the offense, a couple of new big kids receivers with Brett Rooney and Nick Lewis, and then on defense a lot of names that are back too.
Absolutely. We're going to, I think one of our major goals has been to be an improved defensive team, and we were just plagued with injuries on that side of the ball last year early, and I think it hurt us. But when we got everybody back, we played really good defense. And I think we come in this year, we're pretty healthy on defense, and we anticipate being at full strength and by Friday night, and we hope that we can see that defense that we know we saw last year against Taylorville and against Heron and late in the year, that we're going to see that team all season long.
Guess one other question I have to ask. It's a 2.5, almost 3-hour bus ride to Granite City. I think in your position, though, and this is something we've talked about from time to time, the nature of your conference and how far spread out it is kind of maybe makes it easier to deal with that on a regular basis.
Yeah, it does. We don't ever talk about road trips being a negative. I mean, we just you look at the schedule, it is what it is. I mean, we never make an excuse for it. We have a pretty good routine for traveling, and our kids have been on a lot of road trips beginning from their freshman year on. So we actually played pretty well on the road over the last several years. So we're going to win or lose this ball game on Friday, not because of its location or bus rides or anything else. It's going to be based on the way we perform and execute our offensive and defensive schemes and our special teams, and that's what it's going to come down to.
All right, Coach. We'll see you Friday night.
Look forward to it.
Coach Kerry Martin, Marion Wildcats head football coach. I'm Tim Petrovich for the Marion